Good evening, and welcome to the 20th Annual Compass Award Ceremony. We affectionately call this the Golden Globes, as it kicks off our awards season here at Northeastern. My name is Lori Jakes, and I'm delighted to be here with you as we celebrate the incredible achievements of our outstanding students. If you haven't had a chance, make sure you take a moment to read the profiles on the students by scanning the QR code on your program. Let me also extend a warm welcome to our families and friends who are joining us virtually. We're so glad that you're here and able to participate. This event is one of my favorite events each year. Now, in full disclosure, I make this statement every year, but that doesn't make it any less true. And hopefully by the end of the evening, you will all see why. And now, let's welcome our award recipients. Tonight we are recognizing 11 students, and after hearing about them, I know you will agree that they are truly extraordinary. These students have shown that they not only excel academically, but they're also true leaders on and off campus, with an unwavering dedication to Northeastern. Trust me when I tell you our honorees are more impressive each year. I know we all know the familiar phrase, "It takes a village." We are able to celebrate these individuals and all of their accomplishments because of the terrific support from their villages. So now I would like to take a moment to recognize the family and friends, both here and online, of these students. As you will hear tonight, all of our honorees have demonstrated that they are on the path to alumni leadership and continued involvement with Northeastern. And we look forward to being with them on this journey. Now, it's time to move on to our presentations. I would like to introduce Sarah Knaus, who will present our first Compass Award this evening for the College of Arts, Media, and Design.
So, Laura, do you want to come up here? Yeah, right now. I'll talk, but rather than you looking at me, you can stand here and people can look at you and maybe not look at me. So I've had the pleasure of working with Laura Taylor for over a year, and I can say with total confidence that she is one of the strongest, most intellectually and creatively impressive students I've known in 10 years teaching at Northeastern. I did not always know that to be true. In fact, the first day that I met Laura was at the beginning of the capstone class for media arts last January 2025. And she was simply a student, like any student. I was kind of like trying to assess where people were going to be. And as a student in the BA in Arts Visual Studies concentration, she hadn't taken all that much art coursework. She also wasn't planning on graduating at the end of the semester. And I was sort of like, oh man, this person, like, I'm just gonna be like hand-holding the entire time. I was so wrong, and I'm very happy to have been proven wrong. Laura came into the class knowing what she wanted to do, that she wanted to create an artwork that was based on a very sophisticated paper she had written on capitalism, waste, and the art of obsolescence. The result was this very ambitious collage in the form of a rose window or mandala that, if you looked at it closely, you would realize had been formed out of every object that she had purchased during her time in college. Just sort of this monument to kind of a more consumerist way of living in the United States. Her limited arts coursework was a challenge that she just worked through sheer belief in the underlying concept. And I was incredibly proud of the work that she did that. So her capstone was under her belt, and she came back for more. I was thrilled when she reached out to ask me about completing an honors independent study project, honors in the discipline. and this is discussed a little bit in her profile. She wanted to make a video installation to express what environmental philosopher Timothy Morton calls a hyperobject. Climate change is this phenomenon that is everywhere, and yet we can only grasp in these little moments. So how can you make visible something that feels both ubiquitous and intangible? Her project was absolutely stunning, although just like the previous one, she had to figure out the technology and the skills in order to make the work. And that kind of like, just do what you need to do to make something, and then to have it come out as a really, really stunning work is really who Lara is. And you can all learn more about this project in the Honors in the Discipline presentations on Friday. Lara has also done so much for Northeastern, including being an international scholar art athlete, playing on the women's field hockey team, managing communications and social media for the Office of City and Community Engagement. She's played a really vital role donating her design skills to support local music and comedy here in Boston and also in her hometown of Norfolk, UK. And these contributions, I think, all represent who Lara is as a person, which is underscored by her acceptance into a graduate program at the University of Edinburgh, the top-ranked university in Scotland, to study towards a master's degree in environment, culture, and society with renowned geographer and poet and former Northeastern professor Timothy Cresswell. So I am very pleased to award this to Lara in recognition that your achievements are entirely your own, but I'm very proud for you, and I'm so glad to have been able to witness something of your journey.
Thank you, Professor Knaus, for the kind words and introduction. It's such an honor to be here this evening alongside such inspiring and accomplished awardees. I'd like to give a special thank you to Professor Knaus, Professor Coughlin, and Cam D for nominating me for this award. I'm also truly grateful to all the dedicated professors, my field hockey teammates and coaches, my supportive friends and family, and my amazing co-op colleagues at the Office of City and Community Engagement, who've all shaped my experience here in really meaningful ways. When I arrived here in 2021 as a field hockey recruit, I was primarily focused on playing my sport to the highest level, but over time I've come to understand why Northeastern is known as an experiential university and how much there is to gain here beyond the field. Studying art and being a student in CAMD has been a transformative experience. The professors' dedication and their openness in sharing their support, perspectives, and wisdom has been incredible. Their guidance has left a lasting impact on me and really shaped how I see the world, not just as a student, but as a person. In particular, it's been such a privilege to work with Professor Knaus for my capstone and honours project, and with Professor Coughlin in ecology and visual art and culture, which has inspired me to pursue my master's in environment, culture and society. Working two co-ops in the Office of City and Community Engagement has been another highlight. I've had the opportunity to collaborate with local organisations and connect with so many of our neighbours while working alongside people who genuinely care about Northeastern having a positive impact on the surrounding communities. Everything I've achieved here is a product of the diverse perspectives and people I've been surrounded by. As I move forward, I will carry with me the lessons, relationships, and experiences I've gained, and I hope to continue building on them. Thank you to Alumni Relations for organising this wonderful event and recognising the achievements of all the nominees tonight.
Next, Associate Program Director of Undergraduate Public Health and Health Science Programs with the Department of Public Health and Health Sciences, Anne Marie Sullivan, will introduce the award recipient for the Bouvet College of Health Sciences.
Thank you. It is such an honor and privilege to be able to be here this evening to recognize Caitlin Bondi with the Compass Award. I have been so fortunate to get to know Caitlin so well over this past year as she's been working on her health science senior capstone project. I'm seeing a theme emerging. Caitlin has a perfect GPA of 4.0. She's both brilliant and hardworking. She's an honor student. She's a member of the Huntington 100. She's been inducted into the Alpha Epsilon Delta, which is the NU chapter of National Health Pre-Professional Honor Society, and she is in the the new Northeastern chapter of the National Society of Leadership and Success. It's very fitting in light of all of her leadership roles on campus. She is a founding member of Northeastern's AI Student Advisory Board, which is part of the student government. She's been able to advise the university leadership on student perspectives around AI, and most importantly, she brings the conversation around the role of AI in healthcare back to the forefront for us. She's a member of the Bouvet Dean's Student Advisory Council, where she's represented our department. I'm not going to go through the whole name again. But these interactions have led her to interact quite frequently with Dean Skepa, who has described Caitlin as the best of the best. Since her freshman year, Caitlin's been involved with VITAL, which is the Northeastern's Healthcare Innovation Core. She's held several e-board positions in that organization, which helped her to create and plan workshops, collaborate with faculty and organizations, coordinate the Inspire Mentorship Program and the annual hackathon. And this work really has helped her develop leadership skills and make connections across the university with faculty and peers. She completed 2 co-ops. I want to share one of her first co-op was a medical scribe at Northeast Allergy. And in addition to being an exceptional co-op student, before she left, she created a guidebook for all future co-op students that contains best practices, reviews of company procedures, instructions on how to write clinical notes, instructions on medical terminology, how to navigate billing codes, and diagnoses. Her second, it would be no surprise that she would, of course, take everything that she learned and turn it into a guide for others. Her second co-op was at the Dana-Farber as part of the Can Cure program here at Northeastern, where she was conducting medical research in an oncology lab with patients with multiple myeloma. Her research involved investigating precursor conditions through screening data, but also exploring racial disparities that presented in the data. She, as a result of this, she completed an abstract and presentation at the American Society of Hematology, and this led to her senior capstone project. So for the past 2 semesters, she's been working with me creating and implementing patient-facing educational materials for individuals with monoclonal
Monoclonal
every single time. Thank you again. Precursor conditions to support clinician-led education, improve patient understanding, and most importantly, reduce patient anxiety. In her free time over the past 4 years, Caitlin has also been a Bouvet Fellow, a STEM tutor for the College of Science, a volunteer for Horizons for Children. She traveled to London to participate in a dialogues, and she's currently applying to medical school. I have absolutely no doubt that Caitlin will be an exceptional physician. She possesses everything that a physician should. She's intelligent, she has an incredible work ethic, and she's compassionate. If I or a family member was ever in need of medical care, I know how relieved and how confident I would feel in her oh-so-capable hands. I believe this will be just the first of many accolades for you, Caitlin. As you continue on your journey to make the world a better place, I personally want to say thank you. Thank you for all you have accomplished and for doing everything you do so well. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you and to witness your success. And I think I speak for all of Bouvet when I say how very proud of you we are. Congratulations.
Hi everyone, it's so great to be here and I am incredibly honored to be receiving this award
And a huge thank you to Professor Sullivan, Dean Shepa, all my professors, and all the Bouvet faculty that I've had the pleasure to interact with these past 4 years. So I am sad to say I'll be leaving Northeastern this spring for graduation, but I will definitely not be leaving empty-handed. I will be leaving with a wealth of memorable experiences and new friends. I like to say that life has so much to offer if you're willing to see that and be a little curious, and I think that the same could be said for Northeastern. Northeastern has allowed me to explore so many different opportunities that have helped me answer the question of what type of person I want to be and what impact do I want to have in my community. I have enjoyed it all truly, from study abroad to cancer research to patient care to running a healthcare-focused student organization and now jumping into the world of AI. But what has been most meaningful have been the opportunities to give back and empower others through education and leadership. Lastly, before I go, I want to extend a huge thank you to my family because they have been such active supporters in everything that I do, and they have been very willing participants in this long journey to pursuing medicine. At the end of the day, no matter how hard you work or how much you accomplish, it's too easy to be very hard on yourself, and it's too easy to hold yourself to extremely high standards. So that is why I'm once again so thankful for all my friends, family, and the Northeastern community who have all been so invested in my growth and success. Thank you.
Congratulations. The next Compass Award is for the DeMoore McKim School of Business. Here to introduce our honoree is Assistant Director of Cooperative Education for the DeMoore McKim School of Business, Isabel Granier.
It is truly my pleasure, maybe I need to move this down a little bit. It is truly my pleasure to be presenting this award to Helena. I have had the pleasure of working with Helena across multiple semesters as she served as a peer mentor for the DeMoore McKim School of Business co-op program, which I co-lead with my colleague Brooke Johnson. For those unfamiliar with our peer mentors, they are the cornerstone of co-op preparation at DeMoore McKim School of Business. They invest countless hours in resume reviews, mock interviews, and perhaps most importantly, they serve as role models for students embarking on co-op for the very first time. When we hire our peer mentors, we look for students who are mature, reliable, and who have not just succeeded in their own co-ops, but who genuinely recognize the value of experiential learning and the role that it plays in their Northeastern journey. And I share this because these qualities so perfectly capture what makes Helena stand out. She completed her first co-op at the European Public Law Organization, Institute for Sustainable Development in Greece, and her experiences there translated into something invaluable, which was the ability to instill confidence in students who were curious about going on a global co-op, but felt hesitant to take the leap. And I just remember being so impressed by her maturity and reflection as she spoke on a panel for my Business 1103 class. And I know my students appreciated that as well. And her second co-op at Wellington Management further demonstrated her ability to synthesize her experiences and continue growing both as a student and a professional. And this only enhanced her experience and her perspective in mentorship when she returned for a second semester as a peer mentor. And I'll also add that Helena really stepped up during her second semester as a peer mentor, supporting Brooke and I in training our newest cohort and stepping in really wherever we needed her most. And her expertise was just so valued. And her mentorship extends beyond the co-op program. I was really fortunate to be able to join her at the South Bay House of Correction for the Prison Project, which is a really powerful initiative led by my colleagues Jen Gilliman and Michelle Zaff, and it's focused on supporting incarcerated individuals with career development and readiness skills. And Helena's involvement there just adds another meaningful dimension to who she is, and reflecting her ability to take her academic strengths and use them in service of the community. And so I'd like to close with a few words from my colleague Jen Gilliman, who wasn't able to be here tonight, but has worked super closely with Helena. And what's worth noting here is that Jen had no idea what I had written, and yet her words just really captured everything that I wanted to say. So when it comes to Helena, it's nearly impossible to be objective. She was my peer mentor in Business 1103, and she also volunteered with the Prison Project, helping to teach career and business skills to incarcerated individuals. What strikes me the most was this: Helena doesn't need praise to be exceptional, she simply is. Helena is a calm, quiet observer who doesn't need to be on center stage, but she is always the star, committed to doing excellent work with care and focus, even when nobody is looking. I feel lucky to have worked alongside her, and I'm excited to see how she will continue to touch people's lives in her laser-focused, deeply kind, fiercely smart way. I wish I could be there to give you a hug, Helena. Thank you for being you. So Helena, thank you for everything that you bring to our students, our community, to Northeastern. I cannot wait to see where you go next, and I know the qualities that have made you shine here will carry you so far in the rest of your career and your life. So congratulations. Yeah.
Hi. I just want to start off by saying thank you to Alumni Relations and Isabel for presenting me. So before I came to Northeastern, I always knew I wanted to pursue a career that was both globally oriented and purpose-driven, but I didn't know what that would quite look like or how I would get there. Standing here today, it's incredibly special to be receiving an award from the very place that made that vision come true. Northeastern didn't just give me opportunities, it gave me the confidence to explore, to take risks, and to trace a path that was truly my own. I've been fortunate to learn from and be supported by some incredible people. I especially want to thank Jen Gilliman, who couldn't be here today, as well as Erin Salomon. Jen, from the moment I took her co-op class, she taught me to think in unique ways and encouraged me to pursue global experiences that did shape who I am today. You became far more than a co-op coordinator, but as a mentor I will carry with me long after this. Erin, working with her this past semester, was incredibly uplifting as well, and it taught me what a thoughtful and dedicated leadership style looks like. Being a part of the DeMoore McKim business co-op community pushed me to give back in a meaningful way and support other students navigating their own paths. But I think what makes Northeastern so unique is that everyone here is building something different. Whether it's founding a venture, launching a new initiative, or simply finding innovative ways to connect academics to their lived experiences, we're constantly learning from one another and uplifting each other. And during my journey at Northeastern, I always found a community with people rooted in knowledge sharing and creating impact far beyond ourselves. I'm incredibly grateful and proud to call myself a Northeastern alumni, and I look forward to staying connected and giving back. Thank you once again.
Congratulations. This award is for the College of Engineering and will be presented by Assistant Cooperative Education Coordinator for Bioengineering and Chemical Engineering, Marna Eccles.
Great. All right. I've been fortunate to be Kylie York's co-op advisor since she was a second-year student, working with her throughout both her co-op searches, and even more fortunate to have her support in collaborating to plan programming for other College of Engineering students who are seeking co-ops. Like all the students who are here today, Kylie's incredibly involved in a wide range of activities. She's served as an honors learning living assistant, working to create a strong community amongst that cohort of students. She's been an honors ambassador, a presidential ambassador. She's involved in community service through the Alliance of Civically Engaged Students as both a member and a peer mentor. She's an academic volunteer with Boston Middle and high school students through Squash Busters, and she's volunteers with the Red Cross Club. She's a student leader within multiple other Northeastern activities as well. She's been a highly active member of both Engineers Without Borders, this year serving as the Vice President of Administration and specifically coordinating EWB's work in Panama. And she's also a huge contributor to the Northeastern chapter of the Biomedical Engineering Society, which is a professional organization for bioengineers. She's currently the president of BMES. And Kylie's embraced the global aspects of Northeastern as well, participating in a dialogue of civilization in Chile that included both microbiology coursework and landscape photography. In a subsequent summer, she planned her own global experience, an honors self-directed study in South Africa, spending time there using photography and an exploration of culture and history. I know Kylie best for her co-op experiences, of course, as a bioengineering student with a concentration in biomedical devices and bioimaging. Her first co-op was at Fresenius Medical Care, working on design debugging, statistical analysis, and engineering change implementation for kidney products. Her second co-op built on these skills at Sage Product Development, a consulting firm where she worked directly with clients, including traveling internationally to support clinical trials of the medical device that she worked on. Her supervisors at both co-ops wrote glowing evaluations of her work, specifically calling out how trustworthy and detail-oriented she is, and not surprisingly for a student involved in so many activities, that she was highly skilled at multitasking and prioritizing multiple ongoing activities. Besides her own successes, Kylie is consistently willing to take the time to contribute to her fellow students' success. She's never too busy somehow to talk with a student about her experiences on co-op, and I've leaned on her repeatedly to do that. And in her leadership role in BMES, she's also contributed greatly to the success of many other engineering students as one of the primary planners of multiple events each semester, including our student panels, where second-year students hear from a group of upper-class bioengineering students, and in planning our joint career fair for bioengineering, chemical engineering, and mechanical engineering students, which has grown in size to close to 30 companies with Kylie's hard work. In our digital program tonight, there's a quote that sums up Kylie's impact here at Northeastern from Nancy Watkins, who's worked with Kylie throughout multiple settings in community service and honors programs. Across all contexts, Kylie stands out for her steadiness, compassion, and quiet but impactful leadership, and I couldn't have said that any better. I've been lucky to know Kylie for the past 3 years, and we're all lucky that she'll be staying on at Northeastern a little longer after her bachelor's, completing a +1 master's in mechanical engineering. Congratulations, Kylie.
Hello, thank you all for being here today. I'm truly honored to accept this Compass Award, and I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to the University Alumni Relations team for this recognition, to the College of Engineering for selecting me, and the Bioengineering Department for the nomination. I'm especially thankful to Marna for presenting me with this award. Your thoughtful words mean so much, and your continued support and guidance have played a significant role during my time at Northeastern. To my professors, advisors, and the Northeastern staff who have guided and supported me throughout my journey, thank you for challenging me, encouraging me, and helping me grow academically, professionally, and personally. To my friends and family, none of this would be possible without your constant support, patience, and belief in me. You've been my foundation through every step. This award represents more than my individual efforts. It reflects the community that has helped shape who I am today. I'm proud to be a part of Northeastern and look forward to carrying these lessons and values with me moving forward. Thank you.
Excuse me, I started the program off by saying this was the 20th Compass Awards ceremony, and our next presenter has probably been doing this for at least the last 10, if not more. Ben Hescott a teaching professor and Senior Associate Dean of Academic Programs and Student Experience at Corey College of Computer Sciences, will present our next award.
Story to tell on that one. So everyone, thank you so much. I'm so very excited to introduce you all to Emmeline Donovan, Corey's recipient of the Compass Award. There are so many things to be able to talk about. Just as we were saying, this is leadership inside and within our community and outside of our community. You're going to see that Emmeline totally encompasses that. So let me tell you a little bit more. So Emmeline is a data science and mathematics combined major. That was my major too. Except she got a 3.9. I did not. Lower. She's really fully embraced what it means to be experiential. So I'm going to put I also work in the chancellor's office. I'm going to put my chancellor's hat on this one. She has done 2 co-ops, 2 internships, and a study abroad. Did I also say data science and mathematics? So really truly has done this. So let me tell you a little bit this. So her leadership shines through on everything that she does. So she's worked a lot with different student groups. In particular, she's worked with the Latinx Center to be able to sort of joint efforts with the Hora de Cafe, which I'm sure I said wrong. And she's spearheaded the queer prom with the LGBTQ Resource Center. So thank you for that service. She's also been an RA for the last 3 years. And her RD had this to say: Emmeline sets a high standard for herself and those around her, consistently leading with integrity, professionalism, and care. Her commitment to supporting students while prioritizing her academics and strengthening the Northeastern community truly embodies the values that the Compass Award is. So again, thank you. But her leadership is outside of the residential life. As a 4-year member of the Northeastern's club fencing team, they started at 20 when she started. She's grown the club, and they have done 3 national championships. I know, right? Well done. So I want to say a little bit about some of her co-op things just to sort of show a little bit of her strength and leadership. So her first co-op was at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, showcasing her ability to apply math, yes, and computer science and AI to real-world challenges. And so what she worked on was, and I'm going to say all of this wrong, but she worked on particular neuroaudiologists' ability to diagnose accurate brain lesions and whether or not it depended on the type of MRI that was used. So truly making an impact in that space, right? So her internship was with a hedge fund, so BI to a hedge fund. She actually showed them a good proof of concept to be able to fully make an app to fully customize their financial and energy data. This was her internship. What did they do? They hired her as the co-op to build said app. So she also then just recently was an intern at Deutsche Bank, and she was one of 10 that was chosen from over 6,000 applicants. She truly embodies leadership, academic excellence, and support of her community. Thank you, Emmeline, for all of your work. Congratulations.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm truly honored to accept the Compass Award. This recognition means a lot to me, and I'm so happy to share this moment with all of you. First, I'd like to thank the Alumni Relations for hosting this amazing event and bestowing the Compass Award to me and my fellow recipients. Another campus organization I would like to thank is ResLife. The resident assistant role has been a significant and fulfilling part of my time here, especially thanks to the fantastic RA staff and residence directors I've personally worked with, Leah Barrow, Julia Jaime Rodriguez, and Danya Kleen. To my family and friends, you've been everything to me. Thank you to my friends here today, Charles, Jack, and Sharon, for forcing much-needed study breaks so we could go out dancing, to the movies, or watch the sunset on the beach. Thank you to my immediate family, my mom, my dad, my younger siblings, Maggie, Evie, and Thomas, for always welcoming me home every time I needed a weekend away from the grind of city living. I know it's not always fun driving through Boston traffic just to pick me up. Thank you to my extended family for always being there for me. You've taught me a lot about what it looks like to show up for others consistently and wholeheartedly. What I've achieved here today would not be possible without you all. This is my 5th and final year as a student, and throughout this journey, Northeastern has been with me every step of the way. When I wanted to explore a career as a data scientist, I had a co-op advisor to help me get real-world experience. When I wanted to continue my Spanish after studying abroad, I had a cultural center to practice with. And when I wanted to figure out what's next, I had a community of talented, driven students to inspire me. This infrastructure of support at Northeastern has formed me into the person I am proud to be today. And for that, I am forever grateful. I aim to carry the values of this award, leadership, volunteerism, and community, with me for the rest of my life. Thank you once again for this incredible honor.
The Compass Award for the College of Professional Studies will be presented by Dean Jared Auclair.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to present the CPS honoree for this year's Compass Award. The Compass Award recognizes a student who embodies what CPS was truly built for. Someone who brings extraordinary real-world experience into the classroom and leaves with something that sharpens everything they do and everything that happens around them. Tonight's recipient does that better than almost anyone I've seen in this role. Before I introduce her formally, although she's standing right here if you didn't notice, just saying. Before I introduce her, a word of context. Since 2013, CPS and Northeastern has maintained a first-in-the-nation partnership with the Boston Ballet. It allows world-class performers like Haley to earn a degree on their own terms, around a schedule that can mean up to 12 hours of practice a day, 7 days a week. Like, I just stand up here for 10 minutes and I'm tired. Like, I can't even imagine. Tonight marks the sixth time a Boston Ballet student has received this award. That is not a coincidence. That highlights the partnership produces remarkable people like Haley. Haley Schranz trained at the Vagnova Academy of Russian Ballet in St. Petersburg, spent 5 years with Staatsballet Berlin, touring across Europe and Asia, and joined Boston Ballet in 2017. She rose to second soloist in 2020 and to soloist in 2022, a title she still holds today. She has originated roles in world premieres by William Forsythe and Jorma Elo, who has performed in Paris, Los Angeles, Ottawa, and Jacob's Pillow, all places I'd like to go. So let's make that happen. As a member of the American Guild of Musical Artists, AGMA, Union Negotiating Committee, she helped secure industry-leading parental leave, pay equity, and sustainable working conditions for dancers. She also serves on Boston Ballet's DEIB Council and Dancer Board Caucus. She's also a mentor in Boston Ballet's Color of Our Future, guiding graduate students in the Walnut Hill program. Originally from Dearborn, Michigan, Haley has lived in Russia and Germany and performed on stages across Asia, Europe, North America, and works daily alongside colleagues from Korea, China, Spain, Finland, Argentina, Japan, the UK, and I'm sure many more. She is bilingual in English and Russian and has taken on the challenge of learning American Sign Language. In her words, collaborating across cultures has taught me to communicate with creativity and care and fostered a more open, compassionate, and collective worldview, something that I couldn't agree with more. While doing all this, Haley completed a Bachelor of Science in Psychology here at CPS, graduating this May with a 3.79 GPA. That's an accomplishment worth celebrating, even for those who are exclusively pursuing their education full-time. But to do so while balancing the demands of a professional dance career and leading advocacy efforts in the community to advance equity is truly awe-inspiring. Doing all those things at once is also mind-blowing to me, so congratulations on that. Her peers and professors noted that Haley brightens every room she walks into and the stage she stands on with me tonight. She's not only at the top of her profession and the top of her class, she has made everyone around her better for it. And for me, fundamentally, that's the biggest accomplishment of all. So please welcome me, no, don't welcome me, I'm standing right here. Please join me in congratulating Haley.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And thank you to the alumni committee for having me here today. I'm truly honored to get this award. It feels kind of surreal. I've just been sitting on my computer in my breaks between, entrances on stage. So I have had a very different experience, but even from beyond, I am so just grateful for everything that Northeastern has had to offer us. The partnership that we have between Boston Ballet and Northeastern has truly changed what dancers feel that they're capable of doing. We give up what we maybe more traditional path at a very young age, and to be able to get top tier education and be exposed to all of the possibilities that Northeastern has to offer is just truly a blessing. So thank you so much for everything. I also have to thank Michael and Ari from our liaisons for the partnership, Boston Ballet for facilitating it, and my partner, my fiance, and my parents for all the support for the extra late nights and just, as you all know, we just need that extra support at the end of the day. So thank you so much for everything, and congratulations to all of the other award winners. Thank you so much.
Jacqueline McDonald, Associate Co-op Coordinator from the College of Science, will introduce our next award recipient.
Good evening. I've had the privilege of knowing Warda in two distinct roles over the past 3 years, as her instructor in the Professional Development for Co-op course and as her co-op advisor. And over 3 years, I've watched her grow, not just as a student, but also as a mentor, a community leader, and an aspiring physician. And Warda is, without question, one of the most intentional and impressive students I've had the pleasure of working with. This nomination was truly a community effort. I partnered with Professor Kirsten Furtuck, who's the director of the biochemistry program, and together we gathered input from multiple faculty members and both of Warda's co-op supervisors. And every single person responded with enthusiasm, personal stories. You can read some of their quotes on the profile. But I am going to share a couple of those tonight. But before I describe how others have described Warda's accomplishments, I want to also acknowledge that throughout everything I'm about to share, Warda has maintained a 3.985 GPA in biochemistry and has been recognized with the Huntington 100 Award, the Condit Award, and the College of Science Advancing Women in Science Scholar. So I'm going to pull from Professor Furtuck's nomination first, because each of the faculty that we spoke to know you uniquely in a different area. Warda has TA'd for multiple courses. This range goes from organic chemistry 1, 2, and 3, calculus, an EMT course, as well as the introduction to college course for biochemistry majors, where Warda was a peer mentor. And that's where Professor Furtuk worked with her as a partner. And she wanted to draw our attention and the scholarship committee's attention to how Warda really built these strong, impactful relationships with freshmen who were arriving at Northeastern and had a variety of different needs. Warda was, in Professor Furtuk's words, uncommonly adept at finding ways to provide support and encouragement. She truly excelled in the role of mentor and was a role model to others in the position. She had an approachable, thoughtful, respectful manner that elicited trust from her assigned students. Moreover, she made gentle but confident suggestions on how the course could be improved to further resonate with students. She was mature, perceptive, and adaptable, and I trusted her judgment completely. Another faculty member, Professor Jude Matthews, said that Warda's intellectual ability, generosity, and professionalism set her apart, and she represents the very best of our students. Her patience and kindness with students, combined with her sharp analytical mind, make her exactly the type of scholar and person this award was created to recognize. I could go on and on, but I'm going to speak to my knowledge of Warda's background in experiential education and her 2 co-ops. So 3 years ago, I don't know if you remember this, at an employer mixer, I watched Warda work up the confidence to walk up to the Larkspur Biosciences table, introduce herself with confidence, and make an impression that eventually led to a co-op offer. And that moment tells you a lot about who Warda is. She doesn't wait for an opportunity to find her. This co-op experience was a bit unique. It tested her immediately. Due to a last-minute managerial change, she arrived on her first day to a role that was completely different from the one that she had interviewed for. Some students may have been rattled, but Warda adapted without complaint. She dove into a fast-paced startup, and she mastered technical skills such as tissue culture, flow cytometry, functional assay development with no prior biotech experience. Her supervisor not only gave her consistently superior ratings across evaluation categories, but spoke to her emotional intelligence and said, Warda was so fun to work with, she was calm when things were crazy and focused when I needed help. Her second co-op as a patient care technician at Beth Israel was in general and vascular surgery, and this shows a different dimension. Warda worked with high acuity surgical patients and reflected afterwards that this experience helped her understand the kind of physician that she hopes to become, one who notices the small details and understands that healing extends beyond clinical intervention. Warda's investment in this community will not end when she graduates. She's already told me that she plans to mentor pre-med students who are navigating the application process. She intends to stay connected to the biochemistry program, to the community service and civic engagement office. Hillary wrote you some lovely recommendation words as well. And she's just exactly the kind of student and emerging alumna that the Compass Award was created to celebrate. So congratulations, Warda.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, especially on a weeknight. I know it's hard for some, and I know everyone being recognized tonight really appreciates it. I'm truly honored to receive this award. Thank you to the Alumni Relations Committee and to everyone who nominated me for this honor. The Compass Awards recognize leadership, volunteerism, and a commitment to Northeastern. Honestly, I've never thought of these things as something I do, but rather what I've been shaped into by the people around me. So this feels less like something I've earned alone, but more like a reflection of the people in my life. And now I'm gonna kind of name some people who are here who were so gracious to attend. I have to start with my parents. Everything I am is because what you gave me, and I'm literally here because of you guys. For some people who don't know, I'm a commuter student, and so they've had to drive me at some crazy hours like 5 a.m. and pick me up at 11 and no complaints, and I genuinely am so grateful for them. Thank you to Professor McDonald for nominating me and for your kind words. Your guidance throughout my Northeastern journey has been really instrumental. I remember one time, Professor McDonald, she taught me in my co-op class, which is really relevant for your first co-op, and then she does check-ins. I remember right before my second co-op, I was gonna take my MCAT, and I think I told her this in passing, and then I got an email the day of my MCAT. She's like, "You're gonna do great." And I really appreciated that, and I think as a professor who has so many students, it really meant a lot. To Dr. Furtek and Dr. Matthews, thank you so much for seeing potential in me and holding me to standards that push me to grow. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Furtek is a biochemistry department head, and whatever your majors are, I'm sure your department heads are great, but nobody's like Dr. Furtek. Genuinely, because of her, I've had so many opportunities. I've grown not as a student, but also as a leader, and I'm really grateful to her. And then to Dr. Matthews for bearing with me for the past 3 years. I've been in her classes, had kind of begged her to be her TA because she's so amazing. And thankfully, she let me be in her class again this semester, and it's genuinely been an amazing journey. And then, where's the virtual camera? There's somebody online. Cal, hi, thank you for being online. She has been mentoring me for the past 10 years in a nonprofit I work in for youth leadership in the Boston area. And just thank you for showing me what it looks like to lead with purpose. There's also Hillary, which I can't, there you are, hi. She has given me the room to lead in our community service and civic engagement office. And this year we had quite the crazy turn of events in that office, but genuinely she has given me that space to grow, and I wouldn't be the leader I am today without your mentorship. And then to my friends, Razan, Mariam, and Farah, they made the journey here when they really didn't have to. So thank you for always being there and for showing up for me. And thank you all for just believing in me. These relationships remind me of how Northeastern has encouraged us to grow through connection and purpose. So this award makes me kind of think that maybe we're headed in the right direction. With that, thank you so much, and congratulations to my fellow honorees.
Our next Compass Award is for the College of Social Sciences and Humanities, and introducing our award recipient will be Chrissy Maloney, who is the Associate Director of Undergraduate Recruitment Programs.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Chrissy, and it is my pleasure to present the College of Social Sciences and Humanities Compass Award tonight to Grayson Bunting, a fourth-year International Affairs and International Business student. I supervise the CSSH Ambassador Program, whose members represent the student perspective at recruitment and yield events. Grayson has been an ambassador for 2 years, and he quickly became one of my go-tos because of his wealth of knowledge and experience, but also because how affectionately he speaks about CSSH at Northeastern. In his application to return as an ambassador last year, Grayson said, "I would like to continue my work as an ambassador because I truly want to give back to the institution that has given me so much." Grayson is the perfect student to speak about what the college can offer to prospective students because he's taken advantage of just about every opportunity available to him. He's completed 2 co-ops, one with the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York, where he worked on high-profile criminal trials, and a second at Ropes and Gray, where he gained insight into the inner workings of a law firm. Grayson has been abroad 4 times in his 4 years at Northeastern, participating in the NUN program and the Dialogue of Civilizations program, first as a student and then as a program assistant, guiding students through challenging course material and cultural transitions. Grayson also gives back to the college by serving as a student leader, not only as an ambassador, but as a peer mentor, a lead peer mentor, to students arriving to the Boston campus for the first time, and as a TA for the co-op preparation course, supporting students through their sometimes emotional application cycles. Meanwhile, Grayson has excelled academically, maintaining a 3.76 GPA, as a member of the John Martinson Honors Program, engaging in service learning with the United Nations Association of Greater Boston, and conducting original academic research for an Honors in the Discipline project in International Affairs. Grayson's ability to connect with others and share his love for Northeastern has been wonderful to witness, and as he heads into this next chapter, Returning to the U.S. Attorney's Office as a paralegal with plans to attend law school, I have no doubt he will carry that same passion with him. I am honored to present Grayson with the Compass Award this evening, and I know that he will continue to champion both CSSH and Northeastern throughout his postgraduate life.
Hi, everybody. I promise to keep this nice and short and sweet. First of all, thank you to the Alumni Relations team and the selection committee. I'm truly honored to be accepting this award on behalf of CSSH. I also want to thank Chrissy Maloney for her kind words and for taking the time to nominate me. It has been a privilege to work under you. Your guidance these past few years has been invaluable, and I'm forever grateful for the opportunities you've given me. Thank you as well to Julie Budakara, the Program Manager for the National Affairs Department, and my longtime supervisor in the International Affairs Peer Mentor Program, and also Jonathan Andrew, one of CSSH's outstanding co-op coordinators, who I would not be here without today. Also a special shout out to Dr. Dennis Sullivan for 4 incredible years of mentorship across 3 dialogues, a research dissertation, and a handful of classes here in Boston. I truly cannot have asked for a better mentor nor a better friend. And finally, thank you to my family, my girlfriend, my friends, and the greater Northeastern community for helping shape me into the person I am today. Northeastern is truly a unique institution, and the experiences it offers are unlike anything else. From working on a national security prosecution team to studying abroad 4 times all around the world, I cannot imagine a more unconventional nor a more rewarding college experience than the one I have had here. And that's exactly the beauty of Northeastern. If I could offer one piece of advice to any younger Northeastern student, it would be this: to say yes to every opportunity standing in front of you and pour every ounce you have in you to every relationship you can possibly build. Whether that means starting a new club, or dancing for the first time at Greek Sing, or just hanging out with your friends on a random Wednesday night, cherish every single moment you have here. Thank you so much.
The next Compass Award is for the Alumni Relations Compass Award, and my colleague Adriana Garza, who's our Senior Year Experience Officer, will present the award.
Hi everyone, good evening. So today I will be giving our Compass Award from Alumni Relations to Misha. Misha will graduate from the Corey College of Computer Science with a Bachelor of Science in Data Science and Economics with a 3.96 GPA. He will also be a speaker at College Celebration for Corey College. His work reflects both rigor and curiosity, doing research in machine learning to an ambitious undergraduate thesis exploring trade, interdependence, and conflict using a data set of more than 11 million entries. Beyond the classroom, Misha's impact on the Northeastern community has been profound. He has served on the Student Government Association Executive Board for 3 years, including roles as Vice President of Academic Affairs and Vice President of Student Success. Currently, he is the parliamentarian. He has also been a leader of the NU Doghouse, energizing the student section and bringing students together in support of Northeastern hockey, even organizing travel games across the country. Misha currently serves as the Senior Year Experience Board Chair, helping his peers make their final year while preparing that transition to alumni life. Across each of these roles, he is known as a connector who brings people together and leads with purpose and integrity. His experiences extend beyond campus as well, with co-ops and internships at organizations including the National Hockey League, Amtrak, and JP Morgan, along with meaningful service supporting others through time spent on a suicide hotline. Outside of his academic and leadership commitments, Misha brings the same level of dedication to his personal passions. He is an avid runner, currently taking on the Run the Date Challenge, and a lifelong hockey fan who has attended over 200 Northeastern games. This one's actually really cool. He enjoys building data-driven projects, including a fantasy sports platform for college hockey that him and his friends do play on. Besides being the chair, and he has been the best chair that Senior Year Experience Board has seen, Misha is a leader who exemplifies the qualities we look for in alumni relations for someone to actively contribute to the community and points toward a lifetime of alumni leadership. It's my great honor to present you with this award, Misha.
thank you all for coming here, and thank you all for allowing me to accept this award. Thank you obviously to Alumni Relations for hosting, and as well to all of the other nominees for allowing me to share, awardees to share in your night as well. And I think as I've been thinking about this ceremony and as I've been thinking about Northeastern, I think there really is no bigger privilege in life than to try countless different things and not be expected to succeed immediately at any of them. And I really can't imagine a better space for that than Northeastern. I think really from the first day, I think in the 4 months between my commitment and my walking on campus, I had like 7 different majors. I applied psychology, I became a business major, I decided after watching Grey's Anatomy to be a doctor. And now I stand here graduating as a data science graduate, and I think there really is just a way that Northeastern really encourages and enables you to do that. I think, you know, from things such as stepping onto campus and becoming a researcher, becoming a teacher or a teaching assistant. I think even, you know, looking at Corey College with coursework from one end of the range of creating my own little mini ChatGPT, to the other range of just talking about regulation and AI and like what that looks like. There really is no better place in my mind to just do stuff. You know, I think a lot of times it's cool, and a lot of times it's not so cool, right? And I think, at least to me, I think you really, again, you have to do it to figure that out. And I think I wouldn't be the person I am today if not for the ability to do that. And, you know, as Lori mentioned in the beginning, the idea of your village. You know, I think that starts obviously before Northeastern with family and friends, some of who are here online, hello. Some of them who are here in the room, also hello, same space. You know, between coming up and growing up and having the ability to try new things, but then also, you know, being on campus, whether it's friends or, you know, anybody who just wants you to do stuff that they're interested in, stuff like that. And I would say, not just because they gave me the award, maybe a little bit, that the most underrepresented, underappreciated part of that Northeastern village are the alumni, right? Where whether it be people in clubs who are helping you, like, oh, I've done this 5 times before, or whether it be advice, stuff like that, or, you know, anything to that effect, coming to your events, supporting your events. I think that alumni, to a lot of extent, make Northeastern, and I think all of us now who are now becoming alumni, thinking a lot about that in the last couple of weeks. You know, it is now not only, we are not leaving Northeastern, we're not leaving Northeastern, we're not going offwards, but really are just changing our roles, right? We have been supported now for 4 or 5 years, or maybe longer, and now it's our turn to do the supporting and to help become those alumni who are helpful and who want to help other students have the same that we have. So I think that's kind of how I think about this award and why I'm so honored to be up here and help myself. Obviously excited to transition to that new role, but hopefully I can, you know, help others do the same, and hopefully we can all do that as well. So again, thank you all so much for being the village, and have a wonderful night.
And for those of you who are wondering, the awards are very heavy. The next award is the Wendy Breen Klein Award, and it's named in honor of Northeastern alumni, the late Wendy Breen Klein. This award is presented to a senior who embodies both leadership and volunteer spirit. Introducing our recipient is Diane Nishigaya McGilvray, the Senior Vice President for University Advancement.
Thanks, Lori. Wow, y'all are kind of tall. Well, I want to say good evening, and on behalf of everyone on the university's leadership team, especially our president, Joseph Aoun, I want to add my congratulations to all the recipients who are here tonight. Let's give them another round of applause. And I mean, just wow, right? Just wow. I also have to say, I was sitting in the back. Another just wow is Warda's shoes. And I hope that I'm going to see those peeking out from your regalia in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to look for those. Those are fantastic. So the Compass Awards are given on behalf of Alumni Relations. And I also want to say how excited we are that students as committed, as involved, as engaged as all of you are about to be joining the ranks of our global community of 350,000 alumni worldwide, and that you will continue to have enormous impact and to inspire us all. I'm going to shift gears a little bit because For me, the Compass Awards is a bittersweet moment in the academic calendar. On the one hand, it signals the start of the commencement season. It's got to not be winter at the start of commencement season, right? It's going to be warm, I promise. But it also gives us a chance to celebrate our seniors, and Dahlia, I know you're not a senior yet. But it also means that students that we have become so close to, that we get to see around campus, that we rely on, that those students are soon to fly from the Northeastern nest and to embark on new adventures and begin new chapters in the next phases of their lives and their journeys. The recipient of the 2026 Wendy Breen Klein Award is absolutely one of those students. I'm not going to look at her. She is a rare, special person, someone we know will continue to bring enormous pride and distinction to the university. But if we're really being honest, we kind of wish would just stay here and hang out with us for a couple more years. She's the type of student who reminds us why we're so lucky to do the work that we do and why we love doing that work at Northeastern. Fellow presenters, I think you agree with me and know exactly what I'm talking about. Amelia Brooks, you have been a bright light at Northeastern since your earliest days here. Betsy, I told you I wasn't going to do this. We practice a lot, so I wouldn't do this. You are, as my colleague Rachel Schrottman says, the kind of student who makes better every room that you enter. So I'm really honored to be the one who's able to present you with this award, and I can think of no one more deserving. So if you don't know Amelia Brooks, she embodies the spirit of leadership and volunteerism that is the legacy of Wendy Breen Klein. And it's the hallmark of every exceptional recipient who has been awarded with this to carry the torch over the past 30 years since the award's inception. As a peer mentor for the Summer Bridge program, a social media manager in the Damore McKim Graduate Career Center, director of operations for the Black Business Student Association, and, this is important to us, the go-to host and moderator and interviewer for so many of our university events. Amelia continually demonstrates the life-changing power of saying yes. And she also demonstrates the competence and compassion that make people want to ask her in the first place. You can read about all the additional activities that she's been involved in her CV on our Compass website. She's taken advantage of all that Northeastern has to offer. But I got to know Amelia through her involvement with the Women's Interdisciplinary Society of Entrepreneurship, where she's been an executive board leader for 4 years, I think the longest serving board member for WISE, and where she currently serves as the co-president. WISE is not very old as a student organization, but it has quickly become one of Northeastern's largest, thanks to people like Amelia, who empower others to see themselves as innovators, as entrepreneurs, as builders, as founders, and most importantly, she's built a community. As former VP of Global for WISE, she helped expand the community to our London and Oakland campuses. And that's because she is a connector, someone who creates an environment of belonging, someone who helps others build their confidence. And if you've ever worked with volunteers, you'll know that doing all of those nice things for other people is not always easy. Even those who've done it for years might find it hard to imagine how Amelia's wrangled WISE's global board of more than 45 students across 8 core programs. But she's managed it with warmth and with grace, with poise and with professionalism. However she begins her career, I've always said, and she knows this, that I think Amelia is likely to end up starring in her own show or hosting a podcast or something along those lines, because she is a star, because she's got so much charisma, so much personality, but also because she listens, she engages, she cares. Amelia, you once said in an interview I read that one of the most important things you can do in life is to reach out even when it's not required, even when it is not necessary. But I promise you that we're going to be reaching out to you a lot because it will be necessary, because we simply can't imagine what we're going to do without you. So please, please join me in welcoming the 2026 recipient of Northeastern University's Wendy Breen Klein Award, Amelia Brooks. It's the first cry of commencement season 2.
Diane, I hope you brought tissues. I was like, oh my God, had to hold it in. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It's so great to see everyone. I am so honored and so privileged to be here today to accept the Wendy Breen Klein Award. This award is really important to me, not because of what it represents, but what it recognizes. And for me, this honor is about leadership and service, and those things have never been an obligation for me here at Northeastern. They've never felt like a task. They've always been spaces where I felt most like myself. The communities I've built, the people that I've worked with, and the amazing moments that I've had at Northeastern really built out my entire experience here. Everything I've given to this community feels so small compared to what is given to me. You've given me space to lead, to build, to fail, and to get back up again and become a person I'm really proud of. Just last weekend, I was at WISE's annual summit, our conference, and I was standing in front of a room of a bunch of people who I didn't know, students that I'd never seen before. And I realized that they were there because they believed in what we were building and they felt connected to our community. It reminded me that the work that we do, that all of us do, no matter where we go, it matters and it has intent. And the work that we do really does impact people. It reaches farther than we think and it stays longer than we'd imagine. I want to take a moment to thank two people that have really been most impactful on my journey, and that is Betsy Ludwig and Diane McGilvery. You've seen me, you've advocated for me in rooms that I wasn't in, and you've opened doors that I didn't know existed. Some of the most defining moments of my college career because of you, and I'm so grateful. And then to my younger sister, Giada, thank you for being my constant, my #1 cheerleader, and the reason that I drive and work so hard every single day. Thank you to everyone that's been a part of my journey. Thank you for making this experience what it is and what it means to be a Northeastern student. This award means a lot, but the communities and the people behind them matter even more. Congratulations to my fellow awardees. Thank you guys so much.
And our final award of the night is the Garnet Award. This is presented to one junior or third-year undergraduate student who has demonstrated the same core values as the Compass Award recipients. I'd like to ask Cindy Nguyen of the Center for Intercultural Engagement to present the award.
Good evening. First, I just want to say a huge congratulations to all the award recipients tonight. I am so inspired hearing the stories, your passion, that really makes our beloved community so special. So congratulations. Now, I have the profound honor to be here tonight to present the Garnet Award to Dahlia C. Sumbu. In my role as the director of the Center for Intercultural Engagement, CIE, I have had the distinct privilege of working alongside Dahlia, witnessing her vision, her care, her gentle grace, and her extraordinary ability to build structure that turn barriers into possibilities. The first time I truly understood the depth of Dahlia's leadership and the individual she is was when she came to me with a genuine foundational question. At the time, Dahlia was the vice president of U-First, a student org empowering first-gen and low-income students. She and the then president posed the question, how can a student group balance building a community of care while also introducing educational resources to their peers without compromising the very space students come to for connection. For Dahlia, now as UFirst president, the answer wasn't to find a pre-existing path, but to build a new one from the ground up. She co-created a partnership model with our center and orchestrate a full rebrand of UFirst with a sharper, clearer, intentional mission and space. That vision, closing the information and support gap through warm, student-led programming, is now rooted as the foundation of a transformed organization in our community as a whole. Dahlia is a natural architect, always graceful, creating possibilities for others to explore, collaborate, and more importantly, for others to thrive holistically. Her leadership is evident in the numbers, but more importantly, in the community they represent. Under her guidance, UFirst annual First Gen Brunch doubled in attendance from 70 to over 150 guests. Their buddy program grew from 5 mentor-mentee pairs to 15. In this spring, she spearheaded the first ever First Gen Student Academic Symposium, creating a platform for over 50 students to share their research and art, a space for the intercultural exchange that opens new ways for students who might never have had the opportunity to express themselves. This is the work of a leader who balances community building with a drive to create tangible change, critically addressing the barriers that affect her peers' academics and their sense of self. And yet, for all her work building community, Dahlia's own academic and professional drive is equally formidable. A third-year data science and neuroscience major, her research portfolio spans genomics at Mass General, health equity at Harvard Medical School, and bioengineering here at Northeastern. Dahlia is already a first author of a poster abstract, Social Determinants of Health and Cognitive Performance, a cross-national study of the UX in Mexico for Alzheimer's and Dementia Journal of the Alzheimer's Association. Dahlia has also presented at the 2025 Alzheimer's Association International Conference in Toronto, the 2025 Research Innovation Scholarship Entrepreneurship Conference in Boston, the University of Chicago CERTEC Students Research Symposium, and the University of Illinois Chicago 2023 Cancer Research. Clearly, Dahlia is a scholar already actively building bridges between scientific inquiry and real-world application. Tyree Richard, Dahlia's other nominator, who is the Senior Academic Advisor in Corey, who couldn't be here tonight, wanted to share this message. Quote, "I am sorry I could not be here in person today, but I did not want this wonderful moment to pass without sharing a few words about Dahlia. I first met Dahlia when she joined Curry First, navigating a STEM major, and from the very beginning I could see her determination and drive. I watched her push through every challenge that came her way and came out stronger on the other side each time. Dahlia has grown into one of the most resilient and determined students I have had the privilege of knowing. Academically, she continues to rise, and she does so while pouring herself into her community and lifting other students alongside her. I've witnessed that. That combination is rare, and it is what makes her so deserving of this award. Even though Dahlia is no longer housed in my college, I promise, as always, support her in everything she does. That promise was easy to make because Dahlia makes it easy to believe in her." End quote. It is that combination, that rare blend of profound resilience and a deep love of learning, a visionary community building, and a commitment to make system more just, that defines Dahlia. Dahlia embodies the values we hope all Northeastern students carry forward. A deep sense of the courage to reimagine what's possible and the dedication to build a community where everyone can find their footing. It is with my immense privilege that I present the Garnet Award to Dahlia.
everyone. They were lying, that award is really heavy. But yes, I'm very deeply honored to be here today. Thank you to Alumni Relations, Cindy and Tyree for nominating me and selecting me for this award. I'd also like to thank my parents who couldn't be here today because home for me is Chicago, so many miles away, but always supporting me every step of the way. They always taught me to carry my heart on my sleeve and to pour positivity and love into everything I do, which is why I'm always part of the Center for Intercultural Engagement, my organizations, and everything I do. I'd also like to thank my friends, the staff, and the centers that I'm an active member in. Specifically, the cultural centers have made a great impact in my time here at Northeastern. They've given me space to learn, grow, and create. Learn, academically, grow socially, and create things like the First Gen Student Academic Symposium for You First. In addition to that, this award isn't just mine, it's also for all those who have paved the way for First Gen students, who have given me the strength and support every step of the way. So like leaders like Anaí from the Poder program who welcomed me before starting my first year, my mentor Clara, who also received an award last year, a Compass Award, Sebastian, who also received a Compass Award, and Diana, who coming in as a first year showed me all these amazing resources that were offered to First Gen students, just because being a First Gen student is not easy. Your first headshot, your first resume, what are those things? Your first outfit of the day, but this time in business casual, which was a very first for me. So yeah, this award isn't just for me, it's for all those who have paved the way and have helped me, have supported me, and have uplifted my voice. And yeah, thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here and listening to me.
You see, I told you they were impressive. Let's give them another round of applause. As the program comes to an end, I want to take a moment to thank my colleagues who are here and presented the awards to our recipients this year. Without your beautiful words and taking your time to be here, the program wouldn't be what it is. So let's give them a round of applause. I started the evening by saying, once again, that this is the 20th Compass Award ceremony, and I probably should have spent 30 more seconds just talking about how amazing that truly is. It wouldn't be possible, though, without the work of a great team. So I'd like to ask my team members in Alumni Relations and Annual Giving who are here to stand up and be acknowledged. And I especially want to acknowledge C. Hawkins, who has been doing this for the last 10 years. So thank you, C, for continuing it. Now to our honorees. I want to leave you with this. Northeastern will always be here for you. We are a lifelong network and hope that you always remember that. Remember the core values of this award: leadership, volunteerism, integrity, and commitment. You are now, as Diane said, you are now part of a vast network of more than 350,000 alumni who are willing to help you on your journey. My charge to you is to be an active participant. Become an alumni leader, volunteer, support the area of the university that matters most to you. However you choose to do this, your involvement will truly make a difference. As we close, I want to also point out that each of our recipients will be receiving a stole that is on the back of their chair. We hope that you will wear this at your commencement ceremony, but please, following the end of this speaking program, if you would bring your stoles up to the front, we're going to do a quick photo op of the group. Again, congratulations to everyone, and thanks to all of you for being here. Those of you who are joining us from your living room, good night. And those of you who are here with us, we invite you to join us for the reception. Thank you again.